Okay, so I see the live.
We live?
We are.
Not we are live. Yeah, hi.
Hi.
And hi, Joyce, and welcome to the Google Glam Hangout. I'm your host, Tameika McPhaul, and welcome to a week's worth of glam experts, information, ahas, just amazing week. So welcome and join us for this week. And today's host, look at me, I'm just all over. I'm just so excited.
It's actually on live now.
I'm just so excited to try to get it all out. Tonight's guest is Joyce Robinson of RedesignU. Google Glam Hangout. I'm your host, Tameika McPhaul, and welcome to a week's worth of glam experts, information, ahas, just amazing week. So welcome and join us for this week. And today's host, look at me, I'm just all over. I'm just so excited. Actually on live now. I'm just so excited to try to get it all out. Tonight's guest is Joyce Robinson of RedesignU, Google Glam Hangout. I'm your host, Tameika McPhaul, and welcome to a week's worth of glam experts, information, ahas, just amazing week. So welcome and join us for this week. And today's host, look at me, I'm just all over. I'm just so excited. Actually, saying like over and over again. Hi guys, sorry for this. We are having some major difficulties with this Google Glam Hangout. Thank you all for hanging out with us. It seems as though we lost our guest speaker, which is Joyce. Hopefully she may be joining in soon. I just hope she can get back in sometime soon because she has some amazing things that she would like to share with us tonight and share with you. So thank you for bearing with us in this time. We've been going through some behind the scenes, just trying to get all of this together and get it going for you guys. And like I said, I think I seem to have lost her. So hopefully we can get her to sign back in. I think I see her. I think she is back on. Hi, Joyce. Are you there?
I am.
Yes, thank you. I was just letting the guys know that we are definitely having some technical difficulties and thanking them for bearing with us. And once again, she's back live again. We lost her for a minute. But today's guest is Joyce Robinson of RedesignU, and she has an amazing journey and story that she would like to share with you. She definitely has a story that kind of touched me. And that's why I invited her to come on, just to share with you all. For me, I needed to revamp some things inside of me, just to get fit and just do some things for me. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say because I actually have my journal and my note pen because I will be taking some amazing notes too. So hopefully that you guys would just sit back, grab your tea, get your notepads and your journals because she will be sharing some amazing tips with us to get us in a mindset shift to do what it is that we need to do or whatever it is that we desire to do. And sometimes, you know, we let life get in the way. So, but Joyce is going to help us with that. So, without further ado, welcome, drum roll, because we've been having some technical difficulties to get this message out. Thank you for hanging in there with me, Joyce, and welcome to the Google Glam Hangout. And this is night one, and so take it away, Joyce. We love you.
Hi. So we are live on the Google channel, and I lost you.
Welcome. I'm back. Oh, because we've been having some. Go ahead.
I sent you a little message just so I don't know if you can see that that's working. So, hi, I'm Joyce. Thank you all for joining us. And if you aren't able to see this live, you will definitely see the recording. And I am the the founder of RedesignU and the co-founder of Dreams, Goals, Vision. I started RedesignU back in August of 2014, just as a hobby, helping other women. And it just kind of grew and snowballed from there. So what I wanted to talk about tonight was how to just basically hit your reset button, how to get restarted with life when you think you need to. I work with women on healthy lifestyle coaching. And for me, that means teaching women how to eat healthier, how to take better care of themselves and their bodies, how to prioritize themselves and their life. And we do that through support and accountability. And we have a group of about 150 or so women. Started out very small in August and has grown tremendously from there. And within our group, we have women who have done amazing things. So we have women who have lost 40, 50 pounds. We have women who have basically revamped and recreated their lives. They have made themselves a priority. They have started becoming healthier in not only their physical sense, but also in their emotional, their financial, their spiritual, all of their areas of wellness. We work together as a group to get those things accomplished. So basically what I teach is a strategy that I like to call cleaner eating as opposed to strict clean eating. With cleaner eating, it really takes, what you have and where you are, and we work from there. One of the biggest myths that we often hear from people when someone says you should eat healthy, they say, oh, well, I can't afford to. And I'm here to tell you that, yes, you can. The reason why I had to hit my reset button and kind of start life over is I was going through a major life change. A huge shakeup that I wasn't expecting. I had just changed careers. I was in a totally new field, totally new job, totally new company, and I was all of a sudden faced with divorce. So when that happened, as that process, worked its way through, I started rediscovering myself. I was on autopilot for a little bit in the beginning, and through that process, I wasn't eating much. I was just strictly, trying to figure out what I needed to do, where I needed to go, what I was going to do as far as, bringing that chapter of my life to a close and starting a new one. I was worried about how my children would be impacted and all those things. And I just started losing weight. And one day, about a month or so after the initial, everything happened, I realized that, wow, this weight that I have been trying to lose for like 2 years is gone. I was wearing a size 18 clothes, and then everything was just like falling off of me. I hadn't really noticed. And at that point is when kind of the light went off. And I was just like, okay, this is something that I've been wanting to do. I had been able to successfully lose a lot of weight before. Between children, and I could never replicate that. I couldn't figure out what to do. But when I had that aha moment, I just basically decided to take control of the situation. I decided to say, well, okay, I've gotten a good start. I'm just going to go up from here. And that's what I did. I started planning and thinking about the things that I wanted to do. That gave me the encouragement, the self-reflection time gave me the encouragement to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to restart. I'm going to do things for me. I'm going to make a plan. And so from there, I did. I started doing things that I never did before. I was not a fan of working out or exercising, anything remotely close. I actually started running. I joined a run club. And first I started walking, then I started jogging, then I was running. And what ended up happening is the time that I spent running, by myself, listening to my music, that was the time where I spent, doing a lot of self-reflection, thinking about my next steps, figuring out what I wanted to do. And by nature, I'm a researcher. I just like information. I am an educator, adult educator. I do training design. So I'm constantly pulling together information to be able to deliver it to people in a way that is easier for them to understand. So I started figuring out, okay, I know I need to eat healthy. I want to keep this good weight loss, going. What do I need to do? I had no money to buy into anyone's plan, to start, paying any place to tell me what to do. At that point, I really couldn't even afford a gym membership. Fortunately, it was a summer, so I could do a lot of stuff outside. And I just started researching. And one thing that stuck out was clean eating. And I started researching that more. And I was realizing that it was it could be expensive. It was something that I was like, oh, it seems kind of strict. I don't know if I could do all those things now. And I just started taking bits and pieces of what I was reading and what I was pulling together. And I started making a plan. And I said, okay, if I were a person that didn't have much money, which I didn't at the time, how could I do this? How could I adjust this? Well, surely going from eating regular pork bacon to turkey bacon, that must be a start. Surely going from fried foods to baked foods, that's definitely a start. Surely, eating fresh vegetables as opposed to, not eating vegetables at all, or eating things from a can or overcooked, so I just kind of peeled back and got really simple with what I was eating and what I was preparing. And I tried to use the principles of clean eating, which, having things as less processed as possible, fresh, whole, shopping around the perimeters of the supermarket. I took all of those rules and those guidelines that I was seeing and just tried to apply them to my life. And I started writing down what I was doing and documenting different things. And then people started asking me, well, what are you doing? And I would tell them, and they would say, oh, that's expensive. And I would say, well, really, no, I go to ShopRite, I go to Aldi, I go to the local stores, and I see what's on sale. I do what I can. And when I get home to prepare it, I do the best. I don't add a whole bunch of salt or sugar. I use fresh herbs and spices and things of that nature. And I just maintain that healthier eating lifestyle. I paired that with exercise. Like I said, I was doing more things outside. I actually went rock climbing, which I still can't believe. I continued with my running. It was therapeutic in a lot of ways because I could just get out there and I would be on the track or running around in the neighborhoods with my group, and it would just be me. And I would just focus on me. I'd have my music in my ears, and whatever was bothering me that day or whatever was coming up that I had to problem solve, that is the time that I used to do that. So, as I talk about working on various dimensions of my wellness, I was working on my physical. I was also working on my emotional, just by a lot of self-reflection. And I just really kept it going from there. What really sparked people's interest is that I guess because I'm a social person, I love blogging and social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I started sharing my journey through the social media outlets, just as a fun way to connect with people and to hold myself accountable. So when people would ask, well, what are you doing? I was quick to email anyone who wanted any information. I would always send them, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is a basic meal plan. This is the stuff that I eat. I drink a lot of water. I don't eat junk and things of that nature. And I just kept doing that. And anybody who asked, I just, kept sending it. And it was fun for me. I loved helping people, I loved following up, hey, did you get the stuff that I sent you? What did you think? I was doing things like, teaching people how to go to the supermarket and buy healthier foods. I was teaching people how to meal plan and different ideas. And it just grew into something. And this happened in 2012. The beginning of my story was in February 2012. By August of 2012, I was, helping people. I had gained a little traction and was able to start, saving a little money. So I started working out with a trainer. And that was good because I learned proper technique that went beyond just running. So I learned, proper form and started, to work on toning and doing different things like that. I was able to pay the $10 a month to join the gym, which was pretty cool and helpful. And I just really created, a structure within my own world where I said, you know what, I'm feeling different. I'm feeling good. I'm just going to keep this going. And, from there, I just kept going. I was asked to be a part of an anthology, a book about, it was entitled Movement is Medicine, about, women and how their different weight struggles and things of the physical nature had kept them down, and how they used movement and exercise in different forms to rise above that. And that's where I first told my story. That was the summer of 2012. And that's when I think I really realized that people were paying attention and listening. And, you know, things went from there. The book release was great. I got to, you know, get in contact with more people. I got to teach more people what I was doing. One of the biggest things, and what had always been so very important to me, was making sure that people understood that, you know, they don't have to be scared off by the fact that it's too expensive, that, you know, there are ways that you can, you know, adopt a healthier lifestyle. I started creating my own materials. And out of that, I made things like, I call it a quick start guide. And I've just been building onto that. What I like to teach people is to start with a goal, to start somewhere. So, you know, I work with people on how to create what everyone uses SMART goals. So create meaningful goals, not just say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, but you want to lose 10 pounds. You know, what are you going to do to lose 10 pounds? How long do you expect it to take you? You know, creating a goal and creating action steps to meet that goal, so that you have, you know, like when you're at work, you know, you have an assignment that has to be done. Or if you're a student, when you're at school, you know, your professor gives you a syllabus at the beginning of the semester, so you know what you're working towards. I like to, you know, create action plans and goals, you know, similar to that in nature, and relatable and helpful, so that the people who are, you know, this is their goal. So it's not something that I'm creating for them. I like to work alongside of anyone to help them. So, you know, moving from the goals, just really focusing on meal planning. I think that meal planning is essential in order to be successful, especially when you're making a healthy lifestyle change. We like to think that we eat healthy. We like to think that we can remember everything, but really, you know, it gets overwhelming. Having a plan. I could never say it enough. Having a plan is what keeps me sane most days. Everyone falls off track, and it's really, you know, it's an opportunity to get back on track, to figure out where things went difficult for you, and to try and fix that. Some people are emotional eaters. Sometimes people are stirred by things that may happen that makes them sad or makes them happy and makes them want to eat. And then, you know, before they know it, they have, you know, abandoned all the rules and the things that they have put in place for their healthy lifestyle. I also believe in, and I teach, meal prepping. I am very busy. I am a mom. I have 2 kids. I, you know, am, you know, involved in 2 businesses. I have an actual, you know, I have my professional career, and all of these things require my time and attention. So it's very important to have, you know, not only your meal plan, to know what you're going to have, but preparing those things. What can you do in advance to make your days and especially your mornings easier? How do you get out the door? You know, taking your lunch. Not only does it save you time and energy and keeps you on track with your healthy living, it also does wonders for your pockets. So there, you're also looking at the budgetary aspect of, you know, your overall wellness, how you're looking at your finances, how you're choosing to control those, and how you have a plan for how you want to spend things or not. Having your food planned and prepared. You know, a lot of people, when I first started my group, a lot of people were against it. We did like a huge conference call. I gave out all this information. I gave out tips and tricks. And, you know, I would say about 85% of the people were dead set against it. Like, oh, I can't do that. I don't like leftovers. I'm too busy. A zillion excuses. And I will tell you now that about 90% of the women that I work with that are in my group swear by meal planning and meal prep. Like if they don't meal plan or meal prep, they just, you know, they feel like, you know, they're just not complete. And it's a skill to learn. It's something that you have to practice at. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to figure out what works for you and your family and your children and your lifestyle. And you're going to do that. I also really, really firmly believe in, when you're starting out, those quick tips that, will keep you motivated and keep you going. Biggest thing, water, 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 water. The amount of empty calories that we drink in this day and age are amazing, from our soda to our fruit juices to just things that we just unconsciously drink. If you're drinking a lot of sweet tea and things like that, replacing those with water will just save you a lot of calories. And you'll also notice how you're beginning to feel good on the inside. You're flushing out your system. You're having less bloat in your tummy. Now, it's not going to make you skinny overnight, but it is a quick tip. It is something, that will begin to usher you into a healthier lifestyle. I work now, I'm at the page, at the point where I'm working with one-on-one clients and doing healthy lifestyle coaching. And every single client that I work with talks to me about how much of a difference just even the water perspective has made on their life and their healthy lifestyle change. Especially now, it's starting to get warmer. We're doing a lot. Water, I can't stress it enough. If I had to give one tip, it would always be water. One of the things that I think also set me apart when I was doing my journey, and and I still do, post a lot of what I do on social media, is my, fruit infused waters. People totally get a kick out of them. And these are things that I've been drinking for years. When I had, lost weight, I guess now probably about 10 years ago, I used to drink fruit infused waters or, detox waters or different variations. I used to love, love, love soda. And for me, I needed something that helped that transition. And I noticed that when you put ginger, fresh grated ginger, in your water, along with like lemon or and mint, cucumber, lime, or citrus in general, that it gave a fizz that was sort of like a soda. And I was just like, oh, okay, this will work. And, that simple trick alone, something that I learned on some website when I was doing research, really helped me break my addiction to Mountain Dew. And I tell people that all the time, and it's not until they actually try it that they're just like, oh, yeah, not bad. And it also helps, if there's a recipe out there for flat belly water, it actually helps. And a lot of it's just, I don't think people really notice that when we're drinking a lot of soda, we're taking in a lot of gas and air. And those tend to be the things that really bloat you. So when you're removing those from your system, and you're focusing more on water and a lot of it, and you're moving it through your body, you are decreasing, within your stomach, that bloat and those kinds of things that make you feel full. That's just one little trick. Another little trick, I try to keep it less, as uncomplicated as possible, portion control. And, this day and age, you can find a lot of this information online. Portion control, water, meal planning has saved many a life. Meal planning is also important if you lead an active life because, it allows you to visualize out. It allows you to take a look at what you're going to be doing for the week. So if you're going out with your girlfriends Thursday after work, you kind of plan around that, and you're not, so easy to say, oh, I'm having a cheat day. I'm having a cheat meal. I'm having before you know it, you're in a cheat week and a cheat life, and you're, got to start all over again. So with cleaner eating, I just try and get people to focus more on healthier choices. We can't all, afford the highest end of everything. And while it would be nice if we could, the reality is we can't. So doing the best with what options that we have are what I teach. You may not be able to always have cage-free eggs or, strictly of the highest quality chicken or proteins and things of that nature. But if you're going to make the choice between, a healthier cut of, protein, then, you can do that. You can do that in almost any store. And also, your fresh vegetables, whether you're having a salad or you're having lightly steamed vegetables, and, a good carb. I like to call them, the good carbs, because I just stick to a very few things. And for me, making different meal combinations out of those are not only healthy, but they keep me on track. I think it's important to, not deprive yourself. I try and stay at about 85% clean eating for, a week. And I have, 5 to 6 small meals a day. And you'll see that a lot in literature. I try to mix things up. I definitely try and have, my healthier snacks. Fruit, vegetables, mix things up. I, try to stick to foods that are, if I'm going to have fruit, the ones that aren't as, sugar filled. And I just try and, vary things, mix things up, and I don't want it to be boring. I've also incorporated my children. They love eating, healthy, and they love cooking and making recipes. And for them, that's the fun part. So we find a balance. We figure out what works. We cook as a family. We try different things out. As a mom with kids, I think on this journey, it's also important to incorporate your family. I tend to work with, when I work with women who are saying, well, I don't care what anybody else is going to do. I'm doing this. That's only going to last for so long. I mean, you can't do this in a bubble. You're going to have family members, whether you have a husband and children, or, you have children, or you just have a spouse. You have to be able to have those open conversations so that, you can get everyone on board on the same page, and so that everyone can understand your goal to have a healthier lifestyle. I believe in open communication with those that are, around and closest to you, because it's very important. It's not just about, you're eating that stuff. It's really about adopting and maintaining a healthier lifestyle for years to come. One of the biggest things that is very important with any diet or healthy lifestyle change is to consult your physician. So you definitely want to talk to your doctor about what your plans are. If you're seeing your doctor regularly for preventative care, and you do have a problem with weight, that's something that they're definitely going to talk to you about. And you can talk about different options, whether it's that you need to see maybe a dietitian or someone who can help you create a healthier recipe, menus and recipes for you and your family. If you have, diseases that would prevent you from eating certain things, or you have high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, or diabetes, those are things that you should take into consideration. So it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor about any concerns that you have. Again, I just kind of stuck to, wanting to do things healthier. My doctors weren't necessarily concerned about my weight. But again, I'm 5'10.5". So I have a lot more to stretch out in terms of weight. And a lot of people still don't believe me when I show them pictures, until I show them my old clothes that, at one point I was wearing a size 18. It didn't look like it because of my height, but that was just not where I wanted to be. That wasn't where I felt comfortable. I felt uncomfortable. I felt tired. I couldn't really do anything. I didn't have any energy. And a lot of that just came from being unhealthy, inactive, and overweight, and more so just carrying a lot of extra stress and weight and things like that aren't related to food or the scale. So those are just some tips that I have. What I do now with my business, which I actually officially launched several weeks ago, is I do healthy lifestyle coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. I run my group, which is it's a private group. It's for support and accountability of women who are serious. So we don't have lurkers hanging around just popping in. We have women in our group that do work. We share stories, the good, the bad, the ugly. And from that, I have developed really good relationships with people. I get a lot of referrals for people who aren't in the group. I also do one-on-one healthy lifestyle coaching. And basically what that is me having an initial consultation with an interested woman about, what she wants to do. I talk a little bit about the program, what my beliefs are, and I make sure that they understand that it's them who's doing the work. This isn't me giving you a meal plan and saying, here you go, eat these things right here. That's not how I work. I work hand in hand with the person. I hold people accountable. So we start off with creating goals and an action plan, and we go from there. My expectation is that a person who is coming into this program for one-on-one services is ready to do the work. I have a 6-week program, and that involves one-on-one coaching once a week in full for about an hour. And then throughout the week, there are check-ins. We have our overall goal, and we have mini goal, small mini goals that we work on throughout the week. And you have to be willing, to do meal planning, meal prep, to do goals and action plans, and also to journal, to have a place where you're documenting your feelings, where you're documenting your thoughts and what's happening, the good, the bad, the questions, the things that are concerning you, the things that are changing. My belief is that when you take personal ownership in the process, that is when things will change for you. No one can make you lose weight, lose burdens, change your life, be healthy if you don't want to do it. And I know for some people, it's much easier to say, here's a meal plan and here, follow these exercises. But really, we have to take ownership and personal accountability in order to be successful. So that's what I teach through my programs. I also do small workshops and large workshops and programs for different organizations. On a larger scale, when I'm doing workshops, it can be mixed groups, men or women. But I mainly focus on women and this journey and this process that we, go through as women, because it is so much more than dealing with, numbers on a scale and the food that we put in our mouths. It is, it's the social, it's the emotional, it's the spiritual, it's the financial, it's the physical. It's all those things together that need to be considered and nurtured and addressed in order for us to be successful in not only adopting, but maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So those are the things that I teach, I choose to focus on, I help women address, and I'm having a really good time doing it. I am overwhelmed at the response, which is awesome. I never really thought that my little hobby would take off, but it has. It's been a blessing, and I'm just looking forward to all that is in store for the future. So
what would you say, Joyce, for someone who's starting out, who wants to shift but doesn't have the mindset, doesn't fit their actions? What would you say could be that one thing, or what can they start with? For me, I'll just use myself for example.
Okay.
Every beginning of the year, we fast. I do a dance fast, and for 21 days, I am dedicated. When I say I do it, I go through the no meat, no sugar, no salts, and for the 21 days, I'm so committed to it. But when the 21 days is up, I can't stay consistent. It's just I find myself, I'll gradually get back into, slowly eating the meats or, the basically steak. I'll start back off with maybe fish or chicken. It's just now I'm eating the burgers again. Now I'm eating the fried. And it's just everything that I set out in the morning to jump back into, I find myself jumping back into. And I just say, for me, I'm just not a committer. And it's just I don't know why. I love the way I feel during the 21 days. And it's just my skin changes, my energy changes, but it's just I find myself going back to that. So what would you say to help someone to stay on track, which, actually joining her group, ladies, and who's ever is listening, I would advise you to check in on her group, because it definitely has given me some aha moments with, my own little check-ins. So what would you say, Joy?
Well, I would say first that I think when I ask this question, it's kind of tricky because it's a Daniel fast. You know, I'm a firm believer in Christ, and it gets tricky because it's like we're doing it because we're supposed to. But the real question is, in anything, what's your why? Why are you really doing it? Are you doing it because it's a corporate fast and the whole church is doing it and they're going to look down on you if you don't? You know, why are you really doing it? Because until you can get to the core of why you're doing that fast or anything, and you haven't connected and doesn't like really personally resonate with you, like for real, then you're not going to be long-term successful. So I think, you know, it's really looking at what's your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you going to do this? And the other part of that is, you know, you're going to do it. And then what? You know, planning, I'm a planner, planning ahead. What's your commitment? And then what are you going to do? What are you going to put in place when you falter or, you know, fall off the wagon or you get tempted? I also think when we do any fasts that are very restrictive, sometimes our natural response is we're doing it just to get to the end. We're going to get to that last day and we're going to go hog wild. Or we're going to go gently back into it. But like, what have you learned? If you can't identify what you're learning as a part of, you know, any program or fast, you're not really likely to stick with it. That's why I think that a cleaner eating approach works well, because you're not restricting yourself. You're not saying, I can't ever have that. I will tell you, I spent a month doing a vegan plant-based lifestyle. Oh my God, it was the longest month of my life. You know, it just wasn't me. It was not for me. I did it, you know, and I have, you know, one of my friends, and she's also in the group. She is vegan. She runs a group, and they have like raw till 4 challenges, and they have vegan challenges. And I did it, and I gained weight. And I realized that it was kind of, I do a lot of social experiments on myself. Go figure. But I do that because when I have a client who says, I'm vegan, I, you know, follow a plant-based lifestyle, I want to know what that feels like versus, you know, just kind of assuming. So I said, oh, what's a month, you know? Oh my goodness. It was, oh wow, it was a lot. I gained weight because I realized in my lifestyle, the way I eat, I tend to have leaner proteins and lighter meals. And I swear, every time I turned around, I felt like I was having to eat a bean. And that's just not how I eat. So although they were plant-based foods, I was eating much heavier foods than my stomach was used to, if that makes any sense. And I won't do that again. You know, hey, the people who do, that's great. It's just not for me. So I think that sometimes, you know, we have to find stuff that's going to be for us, that's going to work. And we have to know what our personal commitment is to it and what we are going to be planning to do with it. Because if you're just doing it to do it, you don't really have a good stake in the game. And, you know,
that's good, like you said. And I actually kind of wrote that down. What's my why? You know, like you said, my why is the spiritual cleansing and, you know, just getting a little closer spiritually. So that is my why, but it's just the eating part just comes back for me.
And it's like, you know, it's like the Daniel fast is tricky because how do you connect it to, you know, I have lots of friends who, you know, and I've done the Daniel fast multiple times, and I have a, you know, a really good book that I would go like as a companion, but it's kind of looking like, okay, what am I really, really, really doing when I'm done? Because what you're not going to stop praying after you're done. You're not going to stop, you know, hopefully you're not going to stop meditating, you know, hopefully you're not going to stop that spiritual, you know, intensity that you're trying to build up. But, you know, it's kind of like, okay, you know, I've done this, and food is so addicting. It's tricky because you have to eat. It's not like, you know, alcohol or drugs. You can say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. You have to eat. And sometimes, you know, if I'm working with a client that really feels like I can't control what I eat, I just want certain things, or they'll say, I'm a foodie. I love that word because I always think it's hilarious. Everybody is a foodie who just likes to eat. I'm just like, no, no, no.
This takes me to my next question for you, Joyce. I was writing some things down as you were talking. If we could replace 5 unhealthy things from our diet, what would those 5 things be? What would you suggest that we could cut out from our diet? At least five things.
Sugar. Sugary drinks, like soft drinks. A lot of complex, heavy, yucky carbs. Junk food, definitely. And let's see, for a 5th thing, anything in a can. That's just me. I'm just weird about canned vegetables. I don't know. I think like high fatty foods. You know, when you go to pick a steak, you know, you look at the one, and usually the best one is the one with all the fat, and they call it like marbling and all that good stuff. Yeah. It's, you know, I think it's easier sometimes to try and replace certain things than to cut them out altogether. I don't use sugar. I don't use salt. But I cut out sugar the first time I lost a lot of weight, and I just never picked it back up. Some people have a hard time breaking a sugar habit. I broke it. Like direct sugar, like sugar in my foods and stuff like that. I say cut it out. Definitely the sugary soft drinks and stuff like that. There's so much bad in that. Although it's sometimes
what would you replace them with? If the things that you named, what should we replace them with?
Well, the fatty foods and meats, I would say place them with lean cuts of protein, and fish. The anything in a canned vegetables, especially fresh vegetables. We can go to the produce store, at your local supermarket, fresh vegetables, fresh. And you can prepare them without using, you know, a whole bunch of salt. Definitely your sugary soft drinks, water. And I don't like plain water. I can maybe drink about 32 ounces of plain water a day without getting bored. I like different things. I like fruit infused, or you call them detox water. That's my thing. Throw some fruit in there. Lemons, limes, fresh mint, herbs, oranges and strawberries is a good combination with some rosemary. Watermelon and basil is good, or strawberry and basil. There's endless possibilities to spicing up your water so that you don't feel like you're drinking just water. And, you know, it tastes good and you're not drinking, you know, bad for you juice.
Well, that sounds awesome because, you know, we're going into the warmer weather now. Yes. And having those infused drinks would be more refreshing and more inviting to drink, I would think. You know, because I've tried the lemon, the mint, and the cucumber, but it's just a matter of me just being consistent and drinking it more. But I think that would be a good start, like you said, with the warmer months coming in. My next question would be, you know, for someone starting out with this, would you suggest that they create maybe, maybe I'll say it like this. My daughter, she's a pescatarian, so I have a different budget for her. So she has to have certain foods. And it's so funny, I can prepare things for her in the way her lifestyle is. And she's 15 and she's been doing it for 3 years now. So it's just like, I'm very proud of the choice that she made to, you know, not eat meat anymore. But for someone starting out, should they give themselves a monthly budget, or should they just say, hey, I'll have an extra $20, you know, that can come from my family, you know, budget of shopping? Like, would that be a good start? Or where can someone start, you know, to add to their cart to get that lifestyle started?
Well, I always say this: if you have a budget and it's non-negotiable, then there's nothing that you can do. You have to figure out what works. I think that's where you get creative with meal planning. Going into a store with X amount of dollars and saying, ugh, I'm only getting healthy stuff is a recipe for disaster, because you will get about 5 things in your cart and be done. You have to back up before you even get to the budget part. You have to back up and create a plan. When you create a meal plan, whether it's individually or for your family, or whether you're doing parallel because you have some people that are pescatarian and some people that aren't, that gives you your visual of what it is you need for the week. Then what you do, and this is the first time out, it gets easier. What you do is you then look in your cupboards, you see what you have, you see what you can work with, and you see what's on your no-no. You know, you can't, that's not going to work. You can either meal plan around what you already have to try and like get rid of some things, like if you have meats in the freezer and stuff like that, or whatever's in your cupboard. But having that meal plan first and then creating your shopping list from there is going to really save you a lot of time, energy, money, and frustration.
So when you say meal plan, do you mean, okay, Monday night I will have, okay, we'll have baked chicken, we'll have maybe asparagus on the side, and we'll have some rice on the side. Would that be how you would create your list? Meaning, okay, I have for breakfast, we have A, B, C, and D. You just list the things that you...
Can you see my little paper? So I know it's a little difficult to see, but this is a meal planner I created. Basically, it has Sunday through Saturday, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, you know, optional. Also has space for your exercise and your goals for the week. And basically, you plot out what you're going to have throughout the week, and that's for your family, for individually. It doesn't matter. You can create separate ones. But once you plot out what you're going to have through the week, then you know what you know how to make your list from the store. Now, when I'm working with clients, what I teach them, you know, we start off with the things that you should be eating, the good things versus not. And we work and we create a meal plan from there. And then they make a supermarket list. And then if you're on a really, really tight budget, I also suggest you're going to have to do a little homework on the front end, unless, you know your supermarkets, you know the circulars, you know the routines, you know who has what, or you're a couponer. Pull out the circular from the market. If you're going to ShopRite or you're going to Giant, pull out the circular, see what's on sale, see what sparks your interest, and maybe meal plan from there. You know, figure out, knowing what your dollar amount is crucial, and you work backwards from there. If you say, you know, listen, I love my baby to death, but she only got $50 to be a pescatarian this week, we're going to have to work it out. Then that's what you have to do. But I think the first trip is usually the more expensive trip, because you are getting condiments and you're getting things that you may not have. Now, I have the craziest stuff in my fridge now. I've been at this for a couple of years. But fresh herbs is one of those things that people may not necessarily buy all the time. You might have, you know, different spices in your cabinet that, you know that free spice rack that your grandma would have with all the crazy spices on there. Take a look at some of that stuff, because some of that, you know, some of those things are actually things that would be really good in cooking that you could swap out the salt for. But knowing what's on sale, looking at your circulars, and meal planning and making a shopping list before you go to the store is what is going to save you money. And when you have a certain dollar amount to spend, you make your list, you got a general idea, you know, and knowing what you're going to be able to get from that. So, you know, I think, you know, what I do is, you know, when I have clients that are really faced with that challenge and they're saying, I can't figure it out to save my life, I don't have enough money for it, that's when I'll do a supermarket tour with them, and I will like teach them how and what to buy and what you can substitute and what's not as bad, you know, what are other options. And a lot of things that used to be, you know, expensive are coming down. Like when it comes to oatmeal, steel cut oats used to be super expensive. Now they're not so expensive anymore. Now it's sort of more mainstream. So, you know, the companies that we're used to seeing oatmeal from, they're making it. So it's, you know, figuring out where you need to make your adjustments and what you can, you know, get the healthiest and what you have to work around.
Joyce, you've given us an earful. You have shared so much great information with us. Where can the guests that listen to you, where can they find you? Where can they reach you? How can they get in contact with you? I know I am, and I advise you guys to reach out to her. So where can they find you, Joyce?
So easiest place, if you're on Facebook, is my business page is RedesignU Health Coaching. And I am also on Twitter. I'll give you my handle. It is at the letter I, RedesignU. So it's REDESIGN, and then the letter U. That is also my Instagram handle. So again, it's at RedesignU. And my website, which is under construction and I'm really excited about because I just got my photos and trying to pull everything together, is actually my full name, JoyceNicoleRobinson.com. So it's JoyceNich. I have an H in my Nicole. NICHOLE, Robinson, ROBINSON. So that's JoyceNicoleRobinson.com. But that's my website. And really, Facebook is probably the easiest, going to the RedesignU Health Coaching business page. And yeah, I gave you Twitter, I gave you Instagram. I'm all over the place. And you can also email me at RedesignUHealthCoaching@gmail.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I advise you guys to reach out to her. She shared some great information. Stay connected. Joyce, I just want to thank you for saying yes, for joining me for this Glam Week. She kicked us off. We had some difficulties, but we made it. We made it through. She shared some powerful information with us. So I hope that you join us for the rest of the week, because we have some amazing women for the rest of the week. And I will be kicking off Friday, which would be my day. So please join us tomorrow night as I bring to you Tamela Tatum. She's from Detroit, and she's going to be sharing some awesome fashion, fabulous tips with us. So please join us. Hopefully we're going to get through this as ease. But Joyce, I just want to ask you one final thought. What do you want to leave the guests with?
Well, what I would want to leave our guests with is just really just reiterating that it's not just about the weight on, the number on the scale and the pounds. If, it's a healthy lifestyle change involves taking charge of your wellness and your health and making yourself a priority. While I work with females, men, women, children, we must all make ourselves a priority. And it's not about the scale. It's not about, a strict diet and eating. It's about all of those things that, come together. They call them the dimensions of wellness. So your physical, your social, your emotional, your spiritual, your financial, like all those things, that is what's important. That you take charge of all of those areas of your life and you try and bring together a new, a healthier you, where you can be happier, healthier, and whole. So that would be my final thought, to work on it all.
Thank you, Joyce. And thank you everyone again for joining us for a live Google Glam Hangout. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night at 8. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.